Kia everyone, my name is Nabil Sabra. I'm doing a PhD in graphic design at the School of Art and Design at EUT, Auckland University of Technology. My research is a multidisciplinary research between education and art and design schools, investigating critical thinking in graphic design education. My PhD title is Developing an Adult Learning Approach to Enhance the Critical Thinking of Graphic Design Students in Yemen, where I'm finishing collecting data from participants of the first phase of my PhD. I still have 2 more years to finish my PhD, finger crossed. In this conference, I am presenting, exploring the relationship between the Islamic and Western notions of Ijtihad and critical thinking in graphic design education in Yemen. The research problem can be summarized as critical thinking and its role in graphic design education hasn't been given much importance in Yemen, as Yemen hasn't traditionally encouraged or utilized critical thinking in graphic design education. One of the reasons behind this is the fact that graphic design discipline in Yemen education has had a very short history. It started in the beginning of this century. Since critical thinking is a culture relative, I am looking at the equivalent concept of critical thinking that could suit the Yemeni culture. Ijtihad is an Islamic equivalent concept of critical thinking. It is relevant to consider this concept since Yemen is an Islamic country. There are many definitions of critical thinking, but here, critical thinking is the process of defining problems, examining pieces of evidence, analyzing assumptions, and avoiding emotional reasoning and oversimplification. Ijtihad is a representative of high-order thinking skill. There are similarities and differences between critical thinking and Ijtihad. Both are similar in terms of the operational aspect in defining problems, examining pieces of evidence, analyzing assumptions, and avoiding emotional reasoning and oversimplification. But they are different regarding the conceptual contexts of epistemological and revelational issues of certainty, al-yaqeen, absolute truth, al-haq, and religious consciousness and values. This paper draws on Nuruddin and Sirajuddin's study to examine these elements in graphic design and what they might look like. To achieve the level of Tafakkur, a person needs to put something into summarization in order to help him understand it wisely. Therefore, a person may have an idea towards something in a simple diagram or a picture, such as the use of infographic design. In order to understand something, a person needs to synthesize the information at the first place before jumping to a conclusion. Don Norman, in his book in 2013, The Design of Everything, said engineers and business people are trained to solve problems. Designers are trained to discover the real problem. A brilliant solution to the wrong problem can be worse than no solution at all. Solve the correct problem. Good designers never start by trying to solve the problem given to them. They start by trying to understand what the real issues are. As a result, rather than converge upon a solution, they diverge studying people and what they are trying to accomplish, generating idea after idea after idea. Tafakkur literally means to think on a subject deeply, systematically, and in great detail. In other words, Tafakkur is a reflection, as a reflection is a vital step in becoming aware of what is going on around us and of drawing conclusions from it. It's a key for a person to differentiate between good and bad. John Dewey has a famous quote says, "We don't learn from experience, we learn from reflecting on experience." That refers to the active intellectual monitoring and evaluation of one's own formal learning and professional practice activities that leads to new knowledge and self-understanding. Tafkih is analyzing using al-qalb, heart, that depends on al-aql, mind. Sinova, in her book in 2017, This Human, How to Be the Person Designed for Other People, a New Perspective on Design Thinking, she stated that by blocking our intention, we are limiting ourselves to linear casual thinking. The development of Tadabbur understanding is essential to critical thinking because critical thinking, by definition, involves reflecting on what is known and how that knowledge is justified. And they know what they think and can justify why. As in design, a designer should show empathy to be aware of other persons' experiences of their own reality and being objective and use their own values to evaluate a situation, as we use these tips in design thinking. In conclusion, it's crucial to apply Ijtihad to promote critical thinking in the Yemeni education. The outcome of this study will distinguish frameworks within graphic design curricula promoting students' critical thinking and reflecting these from a Western context to a Yemeni one, considering Ijtihad. Thank you for listening, and I'm happy to receive questions.